Hey, I'm Jeff and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing my Rudsta IKEA greenhouse cabinet as it's absolutely bursting with plants right now. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to show some updates with it as I have made some changes, plus I've also added quite a few new plants to it. So let's check it out. So I assembled this cabinet probably about 14 months ago. I'll leave the link to that video up in the top corner here if you're interested. I just propped the doors open with these Burina lights just so it can give us a nice unobstructed view of the cabinet. So right off the hop, I want to tell you one of my favorite things about this cabinet, and it is these hanging pots. I have 5 of them. They are hanging kind of in front, just right at the front of the cabinet, and I do have them attached to these little magnetic hooks. You can find the majority of the accessories for my IKEA cabinet on my Amazon Canada and US page. The reason why I like these pots so much is it just adds dimension to the cabinet. So if these pots weren't here, there'd be a lot of open space, but it fills in this area quite nice. And I bought these little pots just from a local plant shop, and I absolutely love them. Now the only downfall for these pots is they're obviously limited to how much they can expand down the road, because they only have small little pots that I place inside of it like that. I have a medium-sized Queen Anthurium just in a smaller pot. I was working on this plant the other day and I made a critical mistake. It creased the petiole right there on the newest leaf. So it's been about 5 days, maybe a little bit more, and the leaf is still looking okay. It hasn't turned yellow, so obviously it still has some access to nutrients and all that kind of stuff. But this plant has been under attack from thrips. You can see there's some thrip damage up here. There's a couple other spots. So another thing that I did with this pot is the stem was actually getting quite long or taller, I guess, and it was kind of flopping over a little bit. So I just added a little plant or pot extender. So I took a plastic cup, I cut it in half, I sliced a cut down the middle, and then I wrapped it around the stem, and then I just added some aeroid mix around it. So the top portion that was previously sticking out of the pot can now root in some aeroid mix, and then down the road I can chop the top off and propagate it, just make it super, super easy. But yeah, this is probably my favorite thing about this cabinet are these hanging pots. I'm going to talk more about the specific plants in the cabinet in a minute, but I just wanted to share a rather significant update with the cabinet. If you watched the original build video, I did cut out a hole kind of in the back corner of the cabinet, and then I placed this. This piece right here is an electrical outlet that has 2 outlets, 2 USB ports, and it's sat in the cabinet. Now, don't ask me why, but when I made the cabinet and posted that video, there was actually quite a few comments asking if I was concerned about any electrical issues in regards to humidity or water entering the socket. It really didn't cross my mind for some reason. I was just really excited about being able to utilize this as just an easy way to plug in all my accessories, my fan, humidifier, everything into one outlet, and then just using one cord to place in. So I have a little power bar that has a side that you can place one on a timer set, and then one that is just on all the time. So I changed it out for a couple of reasons. The first one is I wasn't really concerned about humidity or any sparking or anything like that. But when I had the plugins here, I was kind of limited with space. It took up quite a bit of space in the corner. So in order to maximize space for new plants, I added just one of those regular plastic grommets that look like this. And it just makes it a nice flush mount in the cabinet, and then I can add plants closer to these outlets. I've had this going for a couple days already, and I'm already liking it because when I had my fans and everything on a timer, they would shut off at, I think I have it for like 9 o'clock, they would shut off, whereas now I can plug the fan, like each individual accessory, into whichever port I want. So right now I run the humidifier as well as the fan on the the power bar portion that is not on a timer. Before I jump into all the plants with the cabinet, I did order a couple this week, so I did receive some plant mail probably about 4 days ago. This is a box from VeryPlants. It's an online plant shop, I believe, out of Ontario. The first one that I got really caught my eye on their website, and I bought it because of the veins on the leaves. It is the Red Spider Hybrid. This one is super cool, which I'll show you here once I unravel the rest. This one right here is the Anthurium Bessiae crossed with the Luxurians. This one has kind of an iridescent type leaf. Just shimmers in the light. It's very glossy for sure, so it's an absolutely beautiful one. The next one here is one that was, it's a discount plant, so I think it was like $5 or $10. So it's getting a new growth point right there. This is the Crystallinum Fort Sherman. I'm probably going to lose that leaf. And then the last one that I got is the Hoffmanii Red with the Fort Sherman. Here is the Red Spider Hybrid, and you can see on the veins here, there's kind of like a little bit of a distinct angle right here, whereas most other anthuriums, they have just a very nice curvature on the veins. You can see everything looks fairly uniform, whereas this one has almost like a little joint, like on a leg. So if you look at the this area as being the body of the spider, and then all the legs that come off the center of the plant, or the center of the vein there, you can see it kind of resembles spider legs. And since getting those plants last week, I actually made another order, and I got 3 more. These ones are still in moss. The ones that I got from last week, I've already kind of transferred or transitioned into an aroid mix. That's not one of them, but this is the Red Spider. This one, you can see I put in an aroid mix, a couple more down there. This one right here is the Bessiae Luxurians, and I did order another one. This is the Luxurians and Forgetii cross. You can see right there. So if you're unfamiliar with what the Forgetii looks like, it's actually this one right here. I actually struggled with this one until I put it into the cabinet, and kind of the distinctive feature with the Forgetii is it doesn't have any lobes at the top like you would with other anthuriums like this crystallina right here. They all pretty well have lobes, so it's going to be interesting to see how this one develops down the road. Obviously you can see this one has lobes, so I'm hoping to be able to see some characteristics of the Forgetii in this one. Otherwise I'm going to have 2 plants that'll just look like the Luxurians. One of the other ones I got is, I don't know what that K is for. This is the Zara Michelle with the Dark Phoenix. Like I said, this one's still in moss. It looks like it's getting a new leaf there. And yeah, this one, it's got a little bit of yellowing on it, so I don't know if it was some issues during transport. And then this one is the super healthy roots on this one, but this is the Zara Michelle crossed with the Zara Michelle. So this is, I believe, a dock block anthurium. This one came in, it was like a combo package or a bundle with, which one is it? This one, the Dark Phoenix and the Zara Michelle. So these 2 plants came as kind of like a package deal, and then I ordered the Forgetii Luxurians just kind of on the side. So as you can see, there is a combination of anthurium and alocasia, with the majority of them being anthuriums. Today I did count all the plants in the cabinet, and it's totaling 36 plants. So obviously maximizing space was kind of my goal for this cabinet. I wanted it to look really full and tropical, and I'm really happy with how it's turned out so far. Do have a couple that aren't looking the greatest, but I did get these from a friend of mine, and I'm just kind of rehabbing them right now. The first one, this is the Doriaki and Clarinervium. This is going to be a beautiful leafed one. Here is the Doriaki Silver. This one's not looking the greatest. Like I said, I did have some pests previously, but this one is known for its very large silvery veins. I don't know if this one's getting enough light, to be honest. It's kind of blocked out by this one right here. But slowly these rehab ones are coming back. So this is the Anthurium Darkest Panama. I think there was a growth point, maybe not. So it's taking a little bit of time for those ones to start. So I do have the Alocasia Friedic variegated. This is the Dragon's Breath Alocasia. This one is an absolute beast. Here's my Queen Anthurium. So I do have the two Alocasias at the back there, and then this one is a King of Spades. Let's see if I can get the tag here. And this one is the King of Spades HU. I remember looking this up, but I believe it's the person that actually made this plant. But this one, the newest leaf, it's coming out quite red, almost like a dark red, which is beautiful. Way at the back, I'm not too sure what this one is, but I love the longer, narrower leaf. This might be the Magnificum something cross. I can't remember exactly. And then I do have the Luxurians Radicans at the very back. So yeah, these leaves, beautiful. Between these two, like the longer leafed one and the Radicans, I just love how that looks back there. This is the Anthurium Raven, I believe. It's a bit of a darker leaf. Here's the Veitchii, the King Anthurium. I bought it as a smaller plant. It actually didn't do very well for me when I first got it. I'm pretty sure it had spider mites, so I was actually quite worried that I was going to lose this one. Put it in the hanging pot, and it absolutely loves this spot. So here's the newest leaf, and it's known for these kind of ripples, almost like a washboard. This one down here in the hanging pot is the Pappy Dark Crystal. This is one of the original leaves, and when I placed it in the cabinet, it got thrips. So I have sprayed it down a couple times with an insecticidal soap, and now it's given me this cute new leaf. And look at that. It has a thrip on it. So this is why I check my plants quite often. That is definitely a thrip. But what I like to do, so they don't jump away, because sometimes they will just kind of flick off, I will squish it when it's on the leaf like that. This one, let's see, is there any thrips? On this one, doesn't look like it. In my experience so far with houseplant pests, specifically thrips, is they absolutely love the newest leaf. I don't know if it's easier for them to suck the sap out of the leaf, like this right here. This little streaking, little silver streaks, that is thrip damage. So the thrip will just, you know, walk along the leaf, sucking the sap out as it goes. So if you see damage like that, then definitely you have thrips. When you get spotting like this is quite often spider mites. So you'll see just very small kind of yellow areas. And you'll always check the back of the leaves as well as near the petiole. That's where they kind of like to form there as well. So you may never actually see spider mites or their webs, but if you start to see damage like that, then I would be suspicious of spider mites. One thing that is tough about having a cabinet full of plants is removing the plants. Here is another plant. This one is the Ace of Spades. This one is the, what is it, Ace of Spades and Magnificum Cross. You can see, if I can get it in better light, there's a lot of that silver kind of streaking as well on this one. And I know I did find some thrips on the back, and it looks like there might be another one right there. I'm just going to hold the plant like that. Actually, maybe not. It actually looks okay. No thrips, crisis averted. Look at the roots. So I've been using these plastic cups, and then I cut out a little slit on the bottom so that way excess water can drain out. But look at these roots. This one up here, it was a very small seedling from North Shore Tropicals. This is the Dreamweaver, Necromancer, Pappy, Lago. I don't even know this one, but I looked up the mother plant, and it was absolutely beautiful. You can see some of the red margins at the top. And this was the original leaf right down there, the smallest one. So this one's been doing really good as well. You can see nice healthy roots, and again that's poking through the little hole on the bottom. This one up here, I did find thrips on this one just yesterday. You can see again there's some damage, some silver streaking Here's the newest leaf on my crystallinum. This is one of the original leaves. Again, it's quite large. Back here is my Anthurium pterodactyl. This one I love because it has a very prominent lobes at the top. They almost look like ears. It's a beautiful plant. Then I do have a couple other alocasia just at the back here. I do have a regular Frydek. This one is quite large as well, so it's just kind of tucked in at the back. There's many leaves on it. It's looking beautiful. This one I have to check frequently for thrips as well. The alocasias tend to be thrip magnets, so that's what I've been keeping my eye on. This one way back here is the Magnificum. Or no, sorry, this one is the Metallicum. This is a beautiful leafed one. And then I have back here, I'm not even sure what this one is. It's not looking the greatest, but it is getting a new leaf right down there. And then I just have a couple other random plants. I do have this one. This is the Batwing. I have this one. I have this one in pond right now, and it's just in. I use these little plastic cups, and again, I use one as a catch pot, and the one on the inside has those little holes on the bottom, so it acts like a little reservoir. So that's pretty much the update with the cabinet. And before I opened it, I did check the humidity because I do not have any of, and I'll show you here in a second, I don't have any of the gaps sealed, so everything is open to air. So there's some gaps on the sides as well as the front here, but with the humidifier and my little fan, it is consistently in kind of the 70s. I think this morning it was 77%, and I do have my little humidifier just at the back right there, so I filled it up and I put it into it. It's a mode where it goes for like 5 seconds and then it shuts off for 5 seconds. So it's not a constant stream of humidity. I do have all these shelves. They're magnetic shelves. They just attach to the back. And then a cool thing, I'll come over to the side here, is I did put some magnets on the back of the cabinet, and then I hung these little plastic nursery pots, just to add a little bit of dimension to the cabinet, fill in that area as there wasn't enough room for another shelf. So I do have a light just at the top, and then I have these Barena grow lights that I just place on the sides just to add a little bit of extra light, as it's a little bit darker on the bottom of the cabinets. So that's pretty much the update with my IKEA greenhouse cabinet. I'm just absolutely loving how everything is growing in so luscious and full and all that kind of stuff. Now I am contemplating getting a cabinet, one of the Millsbow wide for some of my upstairs plants. I do want to add some alocasias into that cabinet. But unfortunately we don't have an IKEA where I live, so it's got to be shipped in, which can be quite expensive. But let me know down in the comment section if you guys are still interested in IKEA cabinets. Is that still a thing? I did put out an Instagram poll, I think probably about a week ago, and it was kind of like a 60-40 split. So I personally don't really hear much about IKEA cabinets anymore. I don't see them on Instagram or anything like that. So I'm just genuinely curious if you guys are still interested in cabinets. I love them for the fact that if you have higher humidity loving plants, then that is an option for you if you're into like anthuriums and alocasias and that kind of thing. So yeah, if you have any other comments or questions, please leave it down below in the comment section. Otherwise, thanks again for watching my videos. Appreciate all the support. Take care. Bye.